Hello and welcome to my channel Yoga with Alicia. I am Alicia and this lesson is all about letting go. It's a lesson for when you are leaving behind something or ending a chapter in your life, acknowledging that a new chapter is going to begin. Let's start by letting go. Let go of the day you've just had. Let go of any thoughts in your mind, especially if they're negative. Take a breath in, rise up to the crown of your head, and let go. When you are leaving behind something, you are actually drawing in to the moment, the here and now. So bring yourself to stand tall, feet together, big toes touching. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Barefoot is best, so if you have socks, slippers or shoes on at the moment, take them off. Place your feet into the ground beneath you. You might like to close your eyes, take an inward look, connecting to the here and now. This very moment, the breath, the air, that is entering your nostrils. And then let it go. Leaving behind something can be a challenge. It's disattachment. It can hurt, possibly. But when you come into the present moment, you then see new possibilities. New chapters beginning, new light. Draw up from the soles of your feet, lifting up through the ankles, the shins, the calf muscles. Rise the knees upward, and so a continuum has begun. For everything that lifts from the soles of your feet, all that is above has to go in the same direction. So now you are on the up, elevating, rising, lifting. Draw up through the quadriceps. These muscles here, the biggest muscle group of the body, 4 muscles in your quadriceps here. Lift them up. Think about the backs of your legs too. You've lifted at the back of the knees. Now draw up through the hamstrings. And at the top, the hamstrings connect with the buttocks. Lift the buttocks and draw the buttock cheeks together. You'll notice as you do this that there will be this natural tilt of your pelvis. So rather than sticking the bottom out and the chest forward and collapsing the stomach muscles, you'll lift up, tilt, and you'll get your shoulders directly over your hips, which gives you this new stature. It aligns your skeletal frame. You might like to just put one hand on your tummy, one hand on the base of your spine, and do this little tilting action. This here, the pelvic girdle, the pelvic basin, back in the day it was known as the bowl, the basin, because it holds all your internal organs like your stomach, your spleen, your kidneys, your liver, your digestive tracts. It's all here resting, and if your bowl is tipping forward, then everything spills forward and is unprotected. If it's tilted, aligned, everything sits in nicely. And from here you can then think of lifting and stretching up through the torso. Rise up internally and externally. Think about the flesh on the sides of your body too, from the hips all the way up to the armpits. Lift, elevate. Another breath in through the nose to bring you back to the present moment. You've just left behind everything else. You're here now. Shoulders back, open out across the front of the chest. This will allow greater space for your lungs to inflate as you breathe in. And this is a good thing because as the space increases and your lung capacity develops, every time you breathe in, you'll be taking in extra oxygen. Life-giving, life-supporting, life-enriching oxygen. And as you draw that in with the breath out, then you then allow that oxygen, rich oxygenated blood, to distribute all around your body. Your skeletal frame fully aligned. So everything begins to move with greater freedom. Have your chin parallel to the mat, to the floor, to the ground. No creases in the back of the neck. Ensure that the head is placed evenly so that your head and shoulders are directly over your hips. And this whole upper body is distributing its weight down through the legs into the four corners of your feet. With your eyes closed, you can tap in to your core, just behind the belly button here. In fact, pull the belly button in, back and down toward the base of your spine. Bring in stability, true groundedness. You may feel the weight just gently swaying between the feet, so the aim now is to distribute your total body mass equally into the feet. So you have this rising, elevating feeling up to the crown of the head and beyond, whilst being firmly foot planted into the earth. Everything's lifting up, internally, externally. This will change the way you view yourself. It will change the way other people view you. For you will look more upright standing, more confident, more aware, more open. Let's bring our hands to our hips. We're going to move into a forward flexion of the spine. The forward flexion of the spine begins at the hips. It doesn't happen from the shoulders. A lot of people can't touch their toes because they simply round their shoulders and try to touch their toes like this. If you have your hands on your hips, breathe in and create space. And then gently tip forward, hinge over, taking it slowly to allow the stretch to occur through both legs, front, back, upper, lower, equally. So it takes time, there's no rush. And as you're tipping forward, you're also holding the stomach in so that it supports your spine. You're also stretching from your tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. You're relaxed in the neck and the throat. Your teeth are unclenched. There are no creases in the back of the neck. You get halfway, tabletop back. It's almost as if you could rest a china, teacup and saucer on your back, and not a drop would be spilt. Keep those elbows out to the side. Indeed, if you have a nice strong core, let's take the hands out, shoulder level. And don't worry if you can't get to this point yet. You can always rest your hands just above your knees. You could have a little bend in the knees. Slowly continuing to hinge over at the hips. Remembering that every breath in creates space and every breath out is letting go, surrendering, until you fold forward. Again, you can have a slight bend in the knees here. You could have your hands on your thighs. You could even have them on a chair in front of you. Anything to give you support. The main aim is to let go. Be aware if you're pushing your buttocks to the wall behind you. Bring your buttocks to rest over the heels of your feet. And it will cause a little bit of change of balance within the feet, but you can adjust, you can adapt. And in this forward flexion, this full forward bend, you are getting rich oxygenated blood into the head. So be aware that when you restack the bones of your spine, you come up nice and slowly, and the head will come up last of all. So to restack the bones of our vertebra, our spinal cord, let's put our hands on the fronts of our legs. Let's pull our tummy in. Let's keep our chin on our chest and slowly restacking the 33 bones of the spine. Once you are upright, have an exhalation out. Let go. Bringing yourself once again to Tadasana, mountain posture. So you may be leaving something behind, like a home, something you've lived for some days, weeks, months or years. The attachments you've made. But remember, this is your first and foremost home. Your physical and mental health home is here right now in this moment. Take a breath in. Bring the hands together to rest at the heart. Let's step the feet about 4 feet apart. You can turn the toes out slightly if it feels more comfortable on the hips. Still have this immediate reminder of drawing everything up. So from the soles of your feet, everything is lifting. The flesh from the outer edge of the feet, all the way up to the hips. The inner thighs, the flesh is lifting. You can lift pubis to navel, navel to breastbone, breastbone to crown. And breathe in and raise the hands to shoulder level. Star position. 5 points of the body here. The toes, the fingers, and the tip of the head. Take a few breaths to allow the distribution of oxygen to take place. Here, behind the stomach, is the solar plexus, found at the bottom of the pit of the stomach. You could put a finger into your belly button and point it downwards, and that would be pointing toward the solar plexus, your energy storehouse. Infinite energy is here. You can tap into it whenever you want. Just breathe, acknowledge, become aware. Let's do a triangle position. So we're going to turn our feet to the left. The left foot turns out 90 degrees, the right foot turns in 45 degrees. We are still lifting up through the flesh, externally. We are still rising internally. And we're going to stretch over to the left. We're going to reach through the left arm from armpit to fingertips before we even begin to descend. And then as we're descending, we're still reaching. And we're also rising. The right hand rising up. Now the left hand will come down and rest at a point that is comfortable for you. That could be on your upper thigh, it could be on your shin, it could be down at the ankle, it could be to the fingertips at the floor. But be aware that your right shoulder remains stacked over your left. Avoid dropping forward to get really low, because you'll miss the beautiful lateral stretch if you do so. So imagine you keep that right shoulder back. It's as if you have a wall behind you and both shoulders remain connected with that wall. Unclench your teeth. And if you can, take a breath in and create space from the base of your spine through to the crown of your head, and then rotate the head and neck to look up to the raised thumb. If this is uncomfortable for the neck, you can turn the head to look downward. Just remember to breathe. And remember that every time you exhale, you let go, you surrender, you disattach. Now to come back up, we want to support our spine. Your stomach muscles are the support framework for your spine. So engage them and breathe in and return to that central star position. Keeping the arms raised here will build your upper body strength, but if you need to lower them and have a rest, then do so. And then get ready and prepare to go to the other side. The same principle. Everything's lifting. The flesh on the legs rising up, staying strong. Let's turn the feet to the right. The right foot will turn out 90 degrees, the left foot will turn in 45 degrees. You can look down and check the positioning. The right heel in line with the left instep. Remember, you can have that zip up feeling, pubis to navel, navel to breastbone, breastbone to crown, and beyond. Relax those shoulders away from the ears. Ask yourself, are your shoulders up here, all tense, or have you let go of the tension? Another breath in, and then as you exhale, you'll begin to reach to the right. You're reaching from the right armpit all the way along to the right fingertips, reaching to the wall to the right of you, and then lowering. Keeping that left shoulder above the right shoulder. Rotating the head and neck to look up to the raised thumb if it feels comfortable to do so. If not, you can just turn and look down towards the toes. Remember, your teeth are unclenched, your jaw relaxed, and your breath is flowing. And as you tune in deeper, you become aware of letting go. Now ready to come up. We want to support the spine, so we engage the stomach, and we breathe in, and we return to our central star position. Nice breath in. And then as we exhale with control, we lower the arms and the hands. And then we lower the chin to watch the chest rise and fall for a breath. And We step the feet together. A nice breath in, a nice breath out. Now, to move forward on our path, we need to have balance and coordination. We let go of everything behind us and we step into the present moment. And here we practice Vrksasana, tree posture. With both feet together, remind yourself again how they are grounded, planted into the earth. Check that you've got that aligned pelvis, that your head and shoulders are over your hips, and that you have this rising, elevating feeling going on. As you take your weight into your left foot, gently bend the right knee and bring your right foot to your chosen position. Now that could be right foot at left ankle, right foot at left knee, or you could bring the right foot all the way up to touch at the perineum. Whichever is best for you. And remember, your practice needs to be comfortable. So only go to the level that is comfortable for you. Nice breath in and out. And when you're ready, you can slowly raise the hands to shoulder level. Now you might think that you're moving slowly, but try moving even slower. And everything you practice on the mat, you can apply to daily life. In the rush of this modern world, learning to move slower will be of great benefit. Let's think about rotating the arms from the shoulder girdle, so we're not just rotating the wrists, we're rotating the arms right up from the shoulders. And then we extend the fingers down. And then we raise the arms whilst we're lifting up through our body, internally and externally, bringing the hands together over the head, resting on the crown of the head, elbows back in line with the ears, shoulders relaxed, teeth unclenched. Breathe in and then let go. Now, with the same strength and grace that you went into the position, come out. It's always good to come out of the position strong, graceful. So if you feel that you're wobbling and going to crash out of the position, then ensure that you come out before that happens. Give yourself a little shake if you want to. And let's prepare to go on the other side. So with the weight now with the weight in both feet, once again you're grounded, planted, and you'll gently peel the left heel away from the mat, bringing all the weight into the right foot, and then taking your left foot into your chosen position, either at the ankle, at the knee, or all the way up. Woo. And you'll always find one side better than another to begin with, but over time they do become more balanced. Relax your shoulders, tilt your pelvis, pull in and lift up. Maybe find a spot on the wall in front of you that you can focus on and concentrate. Bring the hands to rest at the heart, the place of all truth. Unclench your teeth. Peel the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Breathe. This is the present. This is where you learn to let go with peace, gentleness, and a sense of calm. Coming out of the position with the strength and grace you entered. You might like to give yourself a little bit of a shake. Bring back to Tadasana. Close the eyes. Bring the hands together at the heart. A nice deep breath in. Raise the hands up over the head. Exhale. Hinge forward at the hips. Bring the hands down in front of you. Remember, you can bend the knees to achieve this. Let go of the back of the neck. So we want the hands firmly onto the floor now, so do have a bend in your knees. Nice deep breath in. As you exhale, begin to lift the heels away from the mat, bend the knees even further, the trunk of the body on the thighs as you come down into a squat position. Bring the hands together once again to rest at the heart. Relax the shoulders. Keep the breath long and conscious. And then we'll bring ourselves down onto the mat so you can place the hands behind you, buttocks come down, extend the legs forward out in front of you. A final letting go. Now you can use your hands to pull the flesh of your buttocks out from underneath you, up into the small of the back. This will give you an added leaning forward on the ischium. So for some of us, we might be very rounded in the spine, we might be very stiff in the hips. So don't judge yourself. It will take time, but if you keep pulling the flesh out and just hinging yourself over, you'll get there. It's all part of the journey, the path. So there's several ways to go into the forward bend, the seated forward bend. You can walk the hands forward, you could have the hands raised up and over the head, and if you are doing it this way, then do remember to lift up. And remember, once again, the origin of this position is at the hips. We are not just rounding the spine, trying to reach the toes. You'll only get so far that way. You want to think about lifting the hips up and away from your femur bones. Your femur bones at the top, there's a big knuckly bit. The hip joint sits on them. And if you breathe in and lift the hip, it can then have space to move forward as you extend forward. Using the tummy as well, engage your stomach muscles and take your time. Even if you're just get to here, this is much better than trying to do this. You could walk the hands to a certain point and you can flex the palms of the hands up and down. Again, thinking about edging forward further by pulling the flesh of your buttocks up into the small of the back. Avoid pulling it out to the sides. But it takes time, patience, perseverance. Get to the point in the position that is comfortable, and then join your physical self with your mind self and your breath. Consciously aware of any parts of the body that may be holding on to tension or stress, and simply let go. Letting go, surrendering, always happens alongside of exhaling. Now, with the aim being to reach the toes, rather than having the toes pointing away from you, draw the toes back towards the body. This will engage the legs fully into the position, because it's a total body experience. It's another part of the unlocking process, is to acknowledge that all parts of your physical self get involved. Unclench the teeth. Breathe and let go. Let go across the upper back muscles. Relax the shoulders and down through the arms. And then tuck the chin in towards the chest. Engage the stomach, your abdominal muscles, and just bring those fingertips back towards the hips. So once again, you are restacking the bones of your spine. And from here, place the hands behind you. Lift the buttocks. Take the buttocks towards the heels of the feet, not fully all the way, just so that you become central on your mat. You can extend the legs outwards, and you can roll the body down to rest into Savasana, pose of serenity. Allow your toes to drop outwards and the heels of your feet to point towards each other. Let your arms roll out and away from the body, the knuckles into the ground, letting the fingers curl naturally, and having space between the fingers. You can feel the air circulating between the fingers, circulating within the soft palms of the hands. You note its temperature, its coolness as it touches the body, the skin. A nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, gently draw the chin down towards the chest. Make any slight adjustments. Adapt yourself to this supine position. Connecting as much of your spine with the floor, the ground, the earth as you can. Closing the eyes. And imagining that your spinal cord is a mirror. And your limbs, your legs and your arms, mirror image each other, how they rest on the earth. You might feel that you need to make little adjustments, and do this without disturbing the spine. So you might just need to move a foot slightly, or a hand. But it's so that you can become very centralised, equal in your alignment. You are aligning your skeleton. Peel the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Allow the teeth to part slightly, and you will feel the tongue swell in the mouth and touch on the teeth as it relaxes. Soften through the neck and the throat. Soften through the skin on the face, especially around the cheeks, the eyes and the forehead, allowing the skin there to smooth itself back toward the hairline. Relax the hairline, rest the scalp. Tune in to the rise and fall of your chest, aligned with the rise and fall of your tummy, and let go. You can stay here, resting in simple space, time, awareness. Knowing that in this position, even the smallest amount of time spent here, you can release infinite energy from your solar plexus, your core, distribute it around your body to extremities, the tips of the toes, the tips of the fingers, the tips of your nose. Preparing yourself to be rejuvenated, regenerated and revitalized. So that when you next open your eyes, stretch your arms over your head, bring your feet together, bring your hands together, breathe in, and the breath out as you take the hands up and over to gently bend the knees, roll onto your side into a fetal-like position. And then to come up into a seated posture, one that's comfortable for you. Vertebrae of the spine stacked, shoulders over hips, head and shoulders over hips. Bring the hands together at the heart. Remember to always let go. Namaste.